Welcome to the latest episode of Platform. Today's guest is Pat Ritter, or as Brandon Drummond likes to call him,
Pat Ryder.
Pat is one of the most recognizable faces of European blading. He is from Germany. He's part of the FTS crew, which is from Frankfurt, and he has been around for what feels like at least a couple of decades. He was originally one of the members of the Valo EU team and put out the Valo EU video alongside Carl Lindberg and Olive Norheim and Tony Cheetah and those guys. He has also written for Blackjack Project. God, who else has he skated for? It feels like he's been sponsored by a bunch of people. Since them started, he's been there pretty much from the beginning, as far as I'm aware. Been involved in such videos as EOS and Contact. He's been in the States a lot over the years and filmed his own projects. He has also hooked up with the Basement Brothers, Colin Kelso and Sean Kelso, and appeared in their videos. I think he was in Fish Guys 4, Trust the Process, and Rare Form as well. And most recently, he has just done a collaboration with Dead Wheels, and it's just been announced that he's getting his first pro skate from them, and the promo's just dropped. So we have got an absolute ton to talk about. The promo, him grinding on cars, how the wheel came about, how the skate came about, the inspiration behind its design, because obviously a lot of people noticed similarities between one of the original Salomon skates and his pro skate. Just what he's going to do with the money, because apparently he's getting £40,000 or dollars or euros in royalties. And just see what the future holds for Pat. Before we get into that though, cue the music.
I got nervous. I'm all sweaty now.
I cannot believe that with coronavirus and everything else, this is your first time ever using Zoom. That is unbelievable.
Yeah. We usually use Google Meet at work.
Okay.
So never use Zoom. But I heard Zoom all the time, but never used it.
Right. I would have thought John Julio would be setting up like Zoom chats with all you guys. No?
Oh yeah, he did, but I used it on the phone.
Right. Okay. It may have been a safer option just doing it on your phone instead of.
I know. I was actually scared on the phone that someone calls in between or something like that. So I'm just like try to set this up.
Right.
Was hoping it works.
So it's Friday night and the weekend's just begun, and congratulations on the pro skate.
Thank you. It still feels unreal.
I can imagine it does feel unreal. Yeah, like pretty much every young skater and old skater's dream to have their name on a skate. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
When did you first find out you were going to get the skate? Like how long has it been in the planning?
Must have been summer last year, like early summer.
Okay, so quite a long time.
Yeah. It was pretty random because there were never talks about me getting a pro skate, and I never asked for one, and I was not expecting one. And then John sent out a template of the skate, just like, hey guys, you can play around with it, design something. And I was bored, so I designed like a couple actually, and then sent it over. And then he was like, you know what? Let's do a pet skate. I was like, well, what the fuck? And then we started the process.
Maybe that was like a secret John Julio test. Maybe he sent all the templates to people, and then the people that sent back like the most interesting ideas got the skate.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It was so random. Like we were just texting randomly, and I just showed him like a couple of things. We were talking about other stuff too, and then he just came up with it like out of nowhere. And I was like, I was looking at my phone like, what the hell? What's just happening here?
Do you think Sizemore and Soichiro sent him designs and they just sucked so bad that John didn't want to release them?
No, I don't know. I don't actually know if actually one of the guys played around with the templates besides me, because I was besides work. There was nothing going on. I remember like I just got the template and first night I was just like excited to play around with it.
So
maybe that's
okay. So when did you like first get your hands on, I don't know, a prototype or a sample or whatever it was?
that was this end of May this year.
Because you obviously had to have it before it was released so that you could film the promo. So
exactly. It's still the first sample. John made one sample like right after we decided on the color, and then but he kept that one, and then he sent me the sample. It was end of May almost. It was June already. I think end of May, June, and he was already saying that the color, that's it, it works, and I got it, and I was like, yeah, that's just perfect.
Right.
Like
so
first try.
Okay. So that was it, first try and it worked. There was no like, oh, we need to change this or different samples. Because I was hoping you were going to have some just other random like colors lying about, and I'd be like, let me see the ones that didn't turn out good.
No, the only thing we were debating of was the frame color. We were debating if we should, because my first idea was, in general, I wanted to do a clean skate after all these like the brain dead skate and like some sort of funky skates and like Denny skate. I felt like and also fits to me something more clean. So I was like, yeah, maybe we should do a black frame. But then I thought it's kind of boring, and because I was also scared. I mean, I already told a couple of people the story why I choose that color was because I couldn't get the Salomon skates back in the days when they came out.
Yeah,
and I always wanted them like really bad. Like in my area, there was one guy who was sponsored by Salomon. He got them. I was like, wow, I want these skates. And they were everywhere sold out and were like way too expensive. So I just got the blue ones. And I was bummed out having the blue ones back then.
Yeah, because it was the tan ones that came, I remember when Salomon came out, but I couldn't remember what came out first, whether it was the blue or the tan. But I feel like they both kind of came out around about the same time. So
exactly, yeah. The blue was cheaper.
Right.
And the tan one had like this like better liner.
Yeah.
And better wheels, I guess.
Because I had the blue ones, so that would make sense. It would make sense that I'd have the cheaper ones. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was expensive back then. I can't remember how much it was, but my mom was tripping when I was saying I want these. Yeah, I was
like skates. Skates in the 90s were expensive. Like Majestic 12s used to cost over like £270. They were more expensive then than they are now.
Yeah, right. Like the price actually, well, it didn't change at all. I think if you look back, oh well, the remember the low was it lower? No, the Majestic Rosie's Impala. They were probably one of the most expensive ones.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, they probably would have been, or like USD, like the Pro USD throw-ins were like almost £300.
True, yeah, that was crazy.
So
yeah, going back to that, so I didn't want to copy 101 the skate at first, but then I decided, well, it just looks better with the cream frame, and that's like how I have it still in my mind. And I told myself, being open about it, that I took inspiration from that skate because I never got it. So yeah, we decided to do the cream frame back then. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah, the only thing I got, the first sample had some funky wheels. They actually had like some sparks in it, like sparks. How can I say it? I can actually show you. Or like, yeah, should I show you now?
Do you mean like lightning or? Yeah, show me the wheel. Oh, you're frozen.
I got the wheels. It's pretty funny. All right. I don't know if you can see it.
All right. Okay. So like
there's some glitter in it.
Sparkly silver glitter. Man, those look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not what I wanted though. It was actually just funny seeing something like that because that's what you see on like a kid skater or something.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but they
that
look
was.
those look different. That could have been, yeah,
Oh yeah,
received
they're
even
not
better.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bad. I can see like there could be a skate they go along with pretty well. But yeah, that was the only thing.
Plus, the skate works on two levels because, yeah, like you said, it's nostalgia is obviously huge in blading right now because there's a lot of people getting
Yeah,
into blading again after a long break, and there's a lot of people that just didn't stop. So remember that time really fondly. And the reason that Salomon skate was so popular is because it was a good looking skate, like it was a good looking color.
exactly.
And no one's done it since. Like there's not been a skate that's even looked kind of remotely similar colorway since. So for that to come back now, it's going to appeal because them skates are already very popular anyway. But if you bring back a skate
Yeah,
that has a colorway that looks similar to another skate that people love, then
exactly.
it's a win-win. Yeah.
I
Um,
also felt like I'm sorry.
no, no.
I also felt like now it's a time where like it's in fashion everywhere. It happens everywhere. Like people bring back the old stuff, old shapes, old colors, like the nostalgia, like you said. And it's like, yeah, it's definitely not a ripoff. It's just like dedicated to something like we all like older guys know, and even the younger guys. I feel like seeing the color and feel like, oh, that's something sick. It's like
Yeah.
different.
Plus, Salmon don't have a skate division anymore, so you can't rip off a division that doesn't exist. So,
Exactly.
I
Another
mean,
thing also was like, hey, you guys don't need to like look for them on. I mean, Salomon is the Salomon skate, but they are old. Like the shock absorbers are fucked. They're like when you buy a Salomon skate now, the liner isn't probably the same anymore how they used to be. So hey, if you feel like if you miss your Salomons, there's something there's an alternative now.
yeah, definitely. Um,
Yeah.
have you noticed any difference with the sole plates? Like, because
Oh
obviously,
yeah.
like they're slightly wider on either side, and I kind of felt like them were just never going to change that. They were just going to go, no, this is our sole plate. This is what we're going with. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was kind of surprised that they did modify it because people have been asking for it for like pretty much since the first them skate came out, saying, "Can you just make this like a little bit wider?" And
Yeah. True.
it felt like they just weren't listening. So who's like whose idea at the company was it for the wider sole plate to come out?
I think it was just John like actually listening to what everyone said, and it was just a matter of time and money, I guess. So we like I know that like since the 908, John wants to improve the skate, so he did this with the 909, and then it's just like them having their own frame, and I guess it's just like step by step now, and like work this out financially. We knew like we all knew like the Soleplate isn't the best, but yeah, like so many people asked for it, and of course like makes sense. I personally didn't mind the old Soleplate. I was just like didn't feel the backside groove.
Yeah,
I always had to skate them in, but even that now it's like you strap on and you can like still like straight up go to a rail and do a royale and lock in nice. It's definitely noticeable different. And with the sole plate, you definitely notice it, but I didn't really pay attention the first day skating them. Also, my first sample didn't have the new sole plate, which I just got them before I went to California a couple of weeks ago.
right.
The final sample, and we were skating um, a little bank to ledge, and it was like it's a famous skateboard spot, so the ledge was all round, like pretty fucked up. And I had no trouble doing soul grinds and top soul. And Darst and Alex, they were actually like, "Oh, look at these guys." Like me and Mario was like, "Oh yeah, of course you guys have fun on that ledge with the new soul blade." So it was definitely noticeable.
Um, this is also a landmark because you're the first European rider on them to have a skate.
Yeah,
And not just them, you're the first rider that John has ever sponsored that's had a pro skate, the first European rider, because no one on Valo from Europe ever got a skate.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't actually know the background stories. I could imagine it had something to do with Rosie's a little bit. I don't know. Like, not saying like I don't want to blame Rosie's at all. It's just I, I just think they knew an Alex skate will sell, gonna sell, or has to sell during that time. Plating was a little bit low.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if it's, I don't know the backstory, but that's what I guess. I would say.
Am I also right in thinking you're of like African heritage, or like you're of African and German heritage? Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yeah.
So again, that's quite cool because there's not many people of African heritage getting pro skates.
True. Yeah.
Like,
It used to be, right? I mean, there was Trey back then,
I mean, yeah, like so,
Bashar.
but then like if you think about it, there's maybe been less than 10 black skaters ever have had a pro
Yeah,
skate.
sure.
Maybe like I'm willing to bet it's under 10.
Might be true. I
So
don't know.
that
I
in
never
itself
thought about
is
it, but yeah,
like that's pretty odd because if one of the things that rollerblading still desperately needs is more diversity and
of course, I agree,
more
100%.
representation. So
Yeah,
um so yeah, like that in itself is also something to be celebrated, I think, and something to be proud of.
yeah, I am definitely. I'm still like this, like I said earlier. This all feels still so unreal, and it hasn't set. Maybe I mean, like from time to time, like when I went to Cali and saw all this life, I almost cried because it was so overwhelming.
That's what I was going to ask.
And
Like, surely that moment must have made it feel real when you actually, like, you're seeing them sitting there in a shop, or you're seeing like boxes and boxes of them, or you're seeing people that you don't know walking around holding them, like that have just bought them.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what did that feel like?
At first, it was like, wow, is this really happening? And then I was also maybe scared at, or like not scared, just I was just hoping like everyone would, like everyone who's into them skate would like the skate. And of course, just like it's a little bit, insecurity, I guess, because yeah, I was just worried. I just want this to work. That was the first thing I thought of. Like, I am hoping this works. This people will like it. They will buy it, and yeah, it's still like. And then so many people reached out, and it was like overwhelming. I tried to get back to everyone, like everyone on Instagram who hit me up. I tried to at least like send a thank you emoji or something, because I felt like that's what that's what the people deserve, like reaching out. Yeah, but still, it's still like I said, it's unreal. And I never thought about it. I actually never, didn't even think about it like 2 years ago. Never. Of course, I was like, oh, imagine if I would have a pro skate, when I was a kid or something.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I enjoyed the place where I was the whole time. And yeah, I kind of, yeah, when Danny got his skates, I kind of was like, oh, would be nice. But, I was never feeling I should try or ask for it, or, yeah. So it was a big surprise, and the surprise still hitting.
I mean, yeah, like it's an awesome thing to happen. So that's what, despite all the positivity, there was one negative thing I noticed online that someone, and I know you've seen it because you replied to it.
Yeah.
Someone left a comment being like, I've never even heard of this guy. Now, I'm really sorry, but see, if you leave comments like that online, that's not really insulting the skater. That's more just saying I don't know how to click Google, because like if you don't
Yeah.
know who that person is, it's very easy to find out. Plus, it's not like he's either not been paying attention or he's missed out some of the major releases from the last 10 years. Because you had a section in Valo 5, you had one with like Cruise. You've been in like at least 3 Basement videos. You've been in at least 2 Them videos. So for him to like not recognize your name or know who you are just proves that he knows nothing about rollerblading for the past 10 years. But I love how after he looked at your Instagram, he went, oh, this guy just does tippy tappy stuff. Maybe I've still got hope of getting a pro skate. And underneath you just wrote, good luck.
Yeah, that was just the only thing. I had someone send me that, and of course I was like, yeah, there has to be people like complaining.
Yeah.
And I thought it's funny that he actually said, I don't know who that guy is. I didn't feel offended at all, to be honest. Just and I don't feel like people should know me or like whatever. It was just like the guy wrote something. I'm here an admin of the rollerblading Facebook page, and them skates should post their edits here. And his attitude was just like, I'm doing something important, and I never heard of this guy. I was like, dude, I don't even know who you are. I never heard your name.
Everything he wrote it basically just made him look bad for being so completely unaware. Yeah. So
and then
I wouldn't have taken offense from it either.
Oh no, it was actually funny. Like I really thought it's funny. And then the whole tippy tap thing, yeah, I also think that's funny. And if there's someone out there who thinks that didn't deserve it, he's welcome. I mean, he can have his opinion, but there's like John Julio and the whole Them Skates team who felt like I should get one. So
that's what I mean. Yeah, if he doesn't like who's getting pro skates, then he can start his own brand and he can give people who he thinks deserve skates. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. So some of those arguments are just you read them and you're like, okay. There was another one I saw recently, and it was a few months ago, and the person just wrote, I don't know anyone on the Them Skates team. And they were like, I've never heard of anyone on Them Skates. And I'm like, how?
Oh,
how is that possible? What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's this bubble also with a lot of people who come back to the sport, and this bubble of like people who maybe just getting into it and just see like the big names in Instagram who has like tons of followers, and maybe the guys from back in the days, they just that's what they pay attention to. They think it's probably the people who watch KFC too and think that's Brosco still.
And while there is an argument for that, the them marketing like juggernaut is so huge that I feel like I cannot go a day without seeing some form of them content, whether it's a photo or a video or a skate or a setup or someone's just like shared. I find it physically impossible that person has not been bombarded by them marketing, either just from friends sharing it or like it's just I don't believe it.
Yeah, could be. Well, yeah. I mean, that's maybe our world, but if you imagine,
oh, you're dying. Your computer's. Oh, is it working again?
With the back, yeah.
There we go. You went into slow motion for a second there.
No, if I saw this this comment of the guy, I was going through the rollerblading Facebook group, and it's actually funny because there's not many them posts. There's definitely more. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, some dad skating, some really like some back through blading, like having my second spring kind of things. It's not negative. It's just like they pay attention to different stuff. They look at maybe Damon Franklin or Demetrius just got back and like lacing some hammers and get entertained by that. And that's what they pay attention to.
Yeah.
And I totally respect that, and I get it. If you like, I know people from here, from my area, who like also just in that, or like are paying attention to this kind of skating. That doesn't mean like they don't. Yeah, well, they probably know them skates or heard of it, or like, but they don't pay. I guess they wouldn't watch every dem video. So
Yeah. I mean, again, that's just one of the things that I think makes current rollerblading so great, because if you're not into that stuff, there's so many other options. Like, I
exactly.
feel like when we were skating in the 90s, it was just all ledges and handrails, ledges and handrails. And then it all just became roofs. It was like if you weren't throwing yourself off a roof or a triple set or a
Yeah,
drop rail or trying to like die, there was no video footage of you. No one cared. Like
yeah,
and
exactly.
it just became really repetitive and samey. And when people talk about that era as being like the golden era of blading, I was like, I never felt more detached from what was happening
Yeah,
in blading. I
I,
felt like that was totally unachievable for 90% of skaters. Now, if you want to see someone throw themselves off a roof, you've got Carlos Bernal or Michelle Prado or like all these other just amazing, incredibly brave stuntmen.
exactly.
Then if you want to get someone get really technical and skate quote unquote lower stuff or like skate park stuff, you've got the Kelso brothers putting out all their like really intricate technical content. You've got
Yeah,
all these different crews putting out, skate park footage, street footage. Like, I just feel like there's so much variety and so many available things that for someone, and when you get the argument, people go, "Oh, skating sucks now," or "Skating's this now," or
no,
da.
there's something for everyone.
Then
Yeah,
what? Like, if you're not finding what you want, then what you want probably doesn't exist because it's all there.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's all there, and it's like I still don't get why you like have to complain about something. I don't know what's the attitude behind it sometimes, because I respect people jumping roofs. Do I like it? Well, no. I maybe think it's unnecessary, and I rather like seeing people like actually skate, but I don't judge and I don't have to like talk about it. Actually, it was funny because yesterday I was listening to Joey on the Jump Street. You listened to that?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday. He
It was
raises a
amazing how he
lot of
brought that
good
up.
points.
Yeah, how he brought that up with this era of people just jumping on stuff, like just trying to prove we are hardcore. We are
Yeah,
like
yep.
heavy skaters. Uh, and then I actually talked to him on Instagram a little bit today. I was in the mix too back in the days with Benny Harmoners and those guys.
I
They were just
remember. Yeah.
throwing hammers. They were just throwing hammers, and I didn't. At some point, I didn't feel comfortable anymore between all this.
I mean, it was that era of skating that your day could be over at the very first spot, because the very first
Yeah,
like the first spot was probably just some horrible down rail with consequences if you missed.
exactly. Yeah,
So, and it's
I
like,
saw Benny pass out a couple of times. Yeah,
that's what I mean. And you're seeing your friends just getting hurt left, right, and center, and loads of them just can't skate anymore. And you're like, that was not sustainable. That's not like,
no, and like Joey said, we probably looked bad. Like we made it even worse for rollerblading. We're just like trying to prove that we are like hard as fuck.
yeah,
And I don't know if that he was that made me think though. Like, yeah, maybe we did it. Maybe we're just like trying so hard to look good and be hard.
yeah. Oh no,
Accept it.
there was definitely that. It was a response to how just ostracized we'd become. Like, everyone was making fun of us, so we just went, cool. We're just like, as a collective
Yeah, yeah,
unit, the sport went, we're going to be so terrifying that people aren't going to be able to say we're soft or we're weak. But as a result, rollerblading during that period looked uncontrolled and
uncontrolled.
and sketchy. And a lot of those big stunts, when you see people landing them, it looked less about skill and more about luck.
Luck. Yes, exactly. But also, I could imagine. I mean, there's probably people like they love doing it, But then there's also the level of like being a pro skater was so high, or like so risky, let's say like that. And and the paychecks were low, and they got lower and lower.
Yeah.
So you had to like throw heavy shit for some coins.
Yeah.
You know?
You're killing yourself for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's like, oh, if I don't kill myself, I get nothing. So, and there was an era of like people were still trying to live off blading.
Yeah.
When the market was pretty much dead. So that's even more ironic to see like how people back then tried to kill themselves for hope and nothing.
Yeah. It was so yeah, you mentioned the mushroom blading Jump Street. There was another one that was really good recently. They did one with Joey Lunger, and he was talking about people jumping off roofs, and he's like, I don't have a problem with jumping off a roof if the spot calls for it. He's like, if the spot calls, if there's something interesting about it, like Sean Darst at the end of the very first Them promo, he jumps off, like there's the roof that goes into the bank. That's an interesting spot. Like that calls for that trick. Like it's basically set up for you. You've got the long,
of course,
long skinny roof, and then there's a landing ramp right there. Like it's right there for you. It's asking for someone to do it. What he was saying was people were just going looking for roofs to throw themselves off for no reason. He was like, there was no trick there. It wasn't asking for a specific trick. People were just trying to do 540s and 720s and whatever they could off it. He's like, but if you find something like that also happens to be a hammer that has something that calls out to you, then that's fine. He's like, but don't just throw yourself off the most terrifying thing you can find just for the sake of it. That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. I mean, I could understand it if you're like 16 and you just bought some new shock absorbers and you're just like, oh, there's a fucking garage, just jump down, let's see how it feels.
Let's see if these work. Yeah.
Because we actually did this when we got the Salmon skates.
Oh God.
We went on a garage and just like, because we saw the shock pads and we're like, wow, that wasn't there before. And it's just like, let's see how high we can jump from something. Yeah, we were like, that was just a garage.
The shock absorbers would survive the impact. The frames wouldn't.
Oh, I did. I mean, we were like little.
If you're younger and look skinny and don't weigh much, just
stupid. But yeah, that was the only reason I felt like jumping down something big.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. So, do you know how many skates get made, or like how well sales are doing so far? Because obviously, there's still pre-orders at the moment.
Yeah. I think we made 1,500.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
and then sales, I actually don't know. I know they move. I think half of them is already out there somewhere.
Yeah.
In shops or people have them. But yeah, I haven't really catch up with John with the numbers and stuff, but seems pretty good though. Shops are buying.
Nice. So John's obviously like being very transparent with what's going on with the royalties and saying that you stand to get between 30 and 40,000. So the big question is, what are you going to do with the money?
Oh, so that's actually, it's interesting that you asked. So, and I feel good talking about it. So at least how much are over 10K goes in a bank loan I'm still paying off. And that bank loan I just got from like being an idiot. Oh, no, not being an idiot. Sorry, take that back. From just going on skate trips out of my own pocket, going to the States for 3 months and thinking like, yeah, that works. I have enough money. And then came back home like, fuck, I can't pay rent. And stuff like that. And that goes back for like the last, I don't know, almost like 8 years.
I mean, yeah, you've been to America more than most skaters of this generation from Europe. Like,
yeah, because I felt, well, I mean, I got my crew here and my friends here, but I felt like there are a lot of people who like, I got really close with a couple of guys there really quick. And for skating, it just felt so fun. Like Matt Luder in Chicago. It was just like It
I
clicked.
was wondering when you were going to bring his name up. I was like, you're obviously talking about Matt, so let's just get to it.
Yeah, yeah. It clicked, and I just like felt like yeah, I'm coming back to Chicago. I'm going back to LA, see John and all those guys. They were all close friends, and I felt comfortable skating with them. Also, was a huge fan back in the days of America in general, like the food and all the the just the culture, music, and all this. So of course, when John first time invited me, I was like, oh yeah, I'm coming. I don't have any money, but I'm coming though.
Yeah, I'll
And
find a
but
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was just bad with money after skate trips. And there were like definitely like 3 trips I came back home. I can remember I was like, fuck, I'm like dead broke. I just didn't pay attention at all. And so yeah, I'm gonna pay off this bank loan. That's the first thing I'm gonna do.
Well, that's 10. What are you going to do with the rest of the money?
Oh, there's also this amazing tax system in Germany. They would probably take a good amount of it.
Right. Okay.
So and then after that, what still stays? I don't know. Probably maybe invest it into something. There's this wish of doing like some more FTS stuff. Like maybe like I was thinking I want to do some jeans. There's talks about that. Something like that. I need a new car at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I was never about like I didn't even when John came up with the pro skate idea, I was not thinking at all about the royalties. But then when the royalties came up, the first thing I thought of like, yeah, I just want to get rid of this bank loan from skating.
I was about to say, like, it sounds like, yeah, you're doing the sensible thing with it. So yeah, if it like clearing debt's one of the best things you can do. Like it puts you back on an even keel in terms of your future. So
Oh yeah, exactly.
I've always wondered this. You've spent so much time in the States over the years going to like obviously you've filmed various projects in California, like your own projects that you've put online. You've obviously
Yeah.
been to Chicago a bunch and hung about with Matt Luda and the guys in the Chicago scene there. Have you, at no point did it ever cross your mind just to move there and work for a while or like
Of
try and
course.
get, so
Of
like,
course.
but you spent so much money traveling there. Surely it would have been cheaper to move there and just get like a shitty job.
Yeah. I mean, like long time ago, I applied for the green card lottery, but it didn't work out. But then then I'm like every time I'm having a longer trip out there, I feel like wow, I could actually have fun living here. I see myself living there. But then I come back home, I have my stable job, and all the free time I have at my job. Like I did the math once. I got if I really want to, I can get up to 70, almost 70 days off a year paid. I got my health insurance, all this. So I said it once, like I use this as a tool to job for skating,
Yeah.
and the money is good. So that was that's a big fear. But yeah, there's definitely thoughts all the time about moving there.
Plus, yeah, if you're saying it yourself, like you've got, like stability and comfort where you back home, and it's obviously you're getting older as well, so you're like going to be
Yeah,
thinking, do I want to take as many like risks like this when you're happy
yeah.
with your situation?
Especially back then. I just knew all these skaters, John and like the back then Barlow guys and all this, and they all had like just decent jobs. And there was nothing like, hey, if you come here, you can have this amazing job, or we help you get this amazing job. So that was also a thing. Like, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to find something though.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you never know. I would if there's an opportunity and it sounds right. I like it out there.
I can tell because you're there all
the
the time.
political system, yeah, the political system is just a little weird. The whole America is just
it's a lot weird. It's
not
not a
what it
little
used to
weird.
be. Yeah,
It's a lot.
yeah, it's not what it used to be. And yeah, it's not like in the I don't know. There was like this this point where America for me, like, or like for, I think for almost the whole world, like had a twist. Like after I was watching the Michael Jordan show on Netflix,
Yeah.
I was looking at them like, damn, you guys been such a role model, like rock stars back then. Like like everyone in the world like wanted to dress and be like you guys and all the like the rappers and all this stuff. That kind of like disappeared at some point.
I don't think it's that America's got worse in recent years. I think it's just people have become aware of what is actually happening over there. Whereas before, I don't think international news is what it was. And with the advent of the
Yeah,
internet and things like that, and now we're like, there was always police brutality against
of course. Yeah.
ethnic minorities and the LGBT community. We just didn't hear about it as much. Now we hear about it all the time, but it's always been happening.
Yeah, of course, it's always been happening. I just like not talking about this. Just I mean, of course, this has been happening. America has been shitty always. They had never had like proper health insurance and all this. It's just like as me as a kid looking at America,
Yeah.
what came out, music, food, clothing, all this. It's just like that's not there anymore. I feel like there's like different like for in fashion, for example, there's like Americans look at Europe right now. Like that
just,
kind of stuff,
yeah.
or like it's just an example. I just feel maybe I'm totally wrong. It's just like how I felt it. Maybe also getting older and realizing, hey, you guys are pretty fucked up. Like,
I think it just goes in waves, though. I think like people just take influence from each other at different points, and yeah, I think this is just kind of Europe's moment where America's looking at Europe as opposed to Europe always looking to the States. But I do think it goes in waves, and there's back and forth. So plus, the influence of America on you is still very persistent because it's pretty obvious you're a guy that like has a big nostalgia for the 90s and 90s hip hop specifically, and like that era of fashion and things like that. So it's like it is clearly still having an impact on you.
Oh yeah, that was like when I was younger. So my area here where I live, there used to be like it's actually not a huge town. It's a big city in Germany, but not the biggest. And we had like 6 U.S. military bases here. So, and they were open for everyone. So they had also the German American, what was it called? Like festival kind of thing. So, and we had clubs or like parties here hosted by Americans. So this all like came to us like really early when I was little, and I think I can't remember. It's probably 4th grade.
Oh, you're running slow-mo again.
My best friend's his old sister. Does it work again?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's the earpods or something, or your laptop. I don't know. It's just every once in a while, just going into like slow-mo. I don't know why. Seems fine now. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Right. So you were saying like the military bases and growing up.
Yeah, and this was my best friend back then when I was really little. His older sister had a boyfriend from the military base, and he gave us some cassettes with like rap videos on it, Crisscross and Snoop Dogg and the DOC and stuff like that. That was like really old stuff, and we were like, wow, this is so sick, and we got into it like really early, and we grew up like around that culture.
Yeah.
Also, my dad was always in the military base and had friends from there and stuff. So it just was like kind of natural that I got really early in touch with all this, and I got interested by it, and it kind of stuck.
I mean, why not? Like if you latch on to something that you identify with and it resonates with you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like, yeah. I don't know what it was when I was a kid, but then still like kind of stuck to it. And I'm not just listening to rap music though. It's just like I just liked the 90s back then. I love 90s skating. I just watched FR Forever yesterday.
I literally just watched that today. For so long, I didn't think that film actually existed. I didn't think it ever came out. I remember seeing the adverts in Daily Bread with a picture of Ryan Jaclone and like the video camera.
Yeah.
And then I just randomly searched for it again last night and it appeared and it said like uploaded 1 day ago. And I was like, holy shit, this is meant to be.
Friend
And
from LA, Ross.
I watched it today. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. That was great seeing. That was like the things that had the most impact, I think. And also like just got into hip hop music and the clothing and all this. And then you watch VG4 and see John Julio with his gear and the song, the Tribe Called Quest song. And of course, it's like, wow, okay, this is it, no? This is sick.
Yeah, I think that VG4 John Julio section got an entire generation of rollerbladers into Tribe Called Quest, like undoubtedly. Yeah. Just like I'm sure that Frankie Morales FOR2 section got so many people into Notorious B.I.G. that would just never have listened to him before. Yeah. So undoubtedly. Yeah. FR was, watching that was just really great. It just kind of transported me back to being like 14 or 15 years old, like seeing all that footage of Gil Vasquez and
Gil Vasquez.
Yeah. Some of it didn't age so well. There was a bit at the end where Ryan Jaclone was talking and kept dropping the N-bomb, and that's not aged well.
No, of course not. Actually, from that video, what I enjoy the most is just the intro and the opener. That has something so special. So watching it, and it's like I see me and my friends back then, and then I still wish there would be like an edit of kids right now, doing the same. Yeah, that's just seeing Jill and what they call them, not I don't know if I said the name right.
Nenny Tejeda, brother. And the D clan, the Dieslas, Yeah, they were
together. And
they were like a gang. It was literally, it just looked like a gang that like ran New York. It was wild.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, and that was what we had back in the days too. I just wish, it will still be the case. Hopefully.
I think there's still pockets of it that kind of reflect that era. It's just on a smaller scale now, obviously, than it was back then.
Yes, definitely.
We never talked about your promo, so love the promo, and there was some excellent tricks in it. But I'm gonna need some explanation on the car that you top sold, because you've just told me that you are a car owner. So why are you top selling some poor random guy's car?
Okay, the backstory of that is just it's a fucked up area, and like in outside of the city, and there's a what's it called? I don't know the word. There's a place where they have just broken cars, and the whole they just I think they just bring their like totaled cars, and you can still take parts of them.
Right.
And that place was packed, so they had to like there were like more cars, like total fucked up cars. They had to put them on the streets all over. So this Mercedes was just there, and it was all fucked. Like the whole inside was fucked up. The front was all fucked up. And it just lined up, and I was like, "Hey, this fucking trunk is like a coping. I'm just gonna top sell it." And actually, nobody cared. Like that car is total. So
okay, all right, I'll let you away with it. But
so that was a broken car. It was also open. The window was open. There was like probably some guy slept in there because it was all messed up
I wish I would stop doing that with the audio.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Someone's car.
You have frozen again. What is going on?
I don't know what it is. If it's my shitty internet.
It might. the only thing I could think that maybe it is the earpods, but the video is frozen as well. Yeah, now everything is froze. Do you want to try joining the meeting on your phone and see if that works better? Okay. Can see you, can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Do you want to try connecting to the meeting on your phone and seeing if it works better? It might just be because
I just have this I don't know what to call it. It's like, because my apartment is pretty long, and there's
right.
like this thing you put in an outlet that just like keeps transfers the internet connection to another room.
Oh, it's like a booster for the router.
Yeah, a booster. I just plug this out, and then instantly it starts working again. So maybe that's it.
Okay.
So maybe it's done.
Right. So we were talking about the car, and all right, I'll let you away with that because you're saying it was basically abandoned and wrecked. But that's not the first time that you've, vandalized property in skate videos, is it, Pat? Like, let's be honest, because
no, it's not.
There's one you put out where you just basically fling over a bunch of like e-scooters in LA, and then poor Robbie has to pick them up.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, these things are fucking. I mean, they're out of control. You should see them in LA. They're like on the highway. They like people throwing them all over. They're like all over the city, just like where they not should be.
Right.
And I don't know, having get a fucking bike. Shit costs money, or actually, Los Angeles, work on your fucking train system.
Yeah,
like,
public transport out there doesn't seem like the best. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And it was just like, I don't know. It's like maybe the inner devil kid in me sometimes just like, being stupid.
your rebellious streak.
Yeah.
Obviously you mentioned like the influence of 90s hip hop and like 90s culture, especially in America, being a huge influence of you. You're obviously like a massive like studier of like skate history. Like you can tell that you like very much have like done your research or like paid attention when you were growing up, and like there's things that speak to you that you're like keen to promote. Like obviously you guys made the FTS hoodie with Zach Webby Murphy at the NIS International doing the backslide with his finger up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's obvious like stuff like that, like you're taking notes and you're a proper like person who studies skating. Now you're obviously friends with the Kelsos, and Colin Kelso is another massive studier of rollerblading. That you can tell that he goes through the archives, goes through the old VGs and sees things that speak to him. Like, even as far back as his Truth 2 section, he does like the Fast Plant 360 and stuff. And he says that it's like inspired by Matt Andrews or whatever. And he always knows the reference points for his tricks. You guys must have connected over that. Like, did you have any discussions where you're both like, whoa, like, I don't know, eureka moments where you're like, oh, like that's like, you love that. Like, I'm obsessed with that too. Like,
yeah, we just send old videos. Like there was like a couple nights we just send like old VGs back and forth, or like just clips out of old VGs back and forth. I can't remember the specific one, but yeah, we like once we also talked about the plastic bottle from, I forgot his name. It must have also been in VG. Or someone does a line and just like takes a black plastic bottle with his foot.
I do know you. Yeah.
Just slides over a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
We talked about that, and like I can't remember specifically what we talked about, but we were sending us like old videos back and forth.
Because I feel like
he's great.
Yeah.
He knows he knows everything.
Oh yeah, he's a massive blade nerd. You can tell. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, I just like remember stuff from back in the day. So like rewatch some old stuff, and I was like, oh shit, that was actually smart. That looks fun. just try it, and yeah.
Because I feel like
I
you
don't know.
definitely incorporate those elements into your skating or the videos that you make. Because even in your recent promo, it feels very much like the kicking of the football during the middle of the line was staged. It was like you got your friend to be there to ready to set up to kick the
Of
ball
course,
so that you could
of course.
and that's what I'm saying, because it makes it, you know, there's just this dead time between obstacles, and you've managed to fill it by putting in something, remotely interesting in the middle rather
Yeah,
than
just
just
like
skating from A to B.
and to be honest, you know how funny that was with that ball, because Sandro was like kicking the ball, and like the ball came all the time different in different spots, and it was so funny. We had a huge laugh, just like how many times we messed that up, or like one time I kicked it way too hard and I almost smashed the window and stuff like that. It was like mad funny. It was like more fun than during the whole trick. And yeah, and of course it is entertaining at the end, but we were like, I always like wanted to do that wall ride, and then there's this big space to that many pad, or like that table, and like I was thinking, of course, like what can we do? There was this ball, and I was like, just shoot me the ball. I'm just kicking it, and then yeah, stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, it's filling and it's fun. Actually, it adds fun to it. I think that was the main reason why.
Does that mean the chain clip was staged as well? Because Marius has a chain clip where he does, I can't remember what video it's in. I think it might be second gear, and he does a grind, and the object, or like the rail, has a chain wrapped around the top of it, and he basically like slides
I
the
should
chain
just
along.
try to insist, yeah.
But then you've
Yeah,
obviously
but
got one where you do the topside torxel. I think it's topside torxel, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then you slide. Was that chain on there originally, or did you put that
Oh
chain on there?
no, yeah, we just put the chain back up. There was like yeah, that's the thing, was like, because me and Dominic were talking about it, like just doing a top torso, and just like I did it a couple of times, like stretching the foot out to a top sole, or like playing with this momentum. I was just like, would be funny like if we actually could kick something, and then there was this chain, we put it back up, and that was the perfect like rail for it. And then the actual like it it was actually, how did we do it at the beginning? The chain was like way at the end, and it was just like top torso, stretch out, and then just like kick the chain. So then we'd put the chain way more back, so I'm like sliding with the chain, then just kick it out. Just like the stuff kind of develops like on like some random shit.
Right. Oh, so
But yeah,
right.
there's
So the chain was actually no. My question was, did you source a chain and attach the chain to the rail? But you're saying it was already attached. You just set it
yeah.
up. Right. Okay.
So yeah.
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
yeah.
but there's definitely stuff we've like set up in the past. Like, I don't know, can't think of something right now. Yeah, there's definitely stuff we set up. The ball was set up.
Oh, and
That's
there's
pretty
no way
obvious.
there. What was the video?
Pretty,
There was a recent video where you do the. I want to call. What are those things called that skateboarders do? It's kind of called like a slappy. You basically set up one of those plastic signs and did like a slappy to topsail down a handrail. You know those like plastic floppy signs, and you like hit
yeah.
it and went up. What was that in? It
Oh,
might have,
that was in my introduction intro. There was like a sign to a down rail. You mean that?
was it the them introduction
Then
section?
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that'll be what I'm remembering it from. Yeah, the same one that
yeah.
Marius does the solo to
The
Fishbrain on. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was the idea of like, I want to do like a bonk something to a grind. That was that idea of just like, sometimes I have ideas like what I want to do, and then I just write them down. I have like notes on my phone, like a weird
Oh,
note list.
everyone does. Trust me. Everyone.
Yeah,
I suck
and
at skating, and I have phone
yeah,
notes. Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing. Actually, David Sizemore just like introduced me in his notes, and like he's even more crazy with it. Like he has like shots and like tricks and spots lined up, and like photos of spots and all this. But yeah, I have this list, and then there was a bonk to a grind, the down rail, and we went to that spot, and it was winter, and I was like, I don't know what to do here, and I saw the sign. I was like, how can I set up this sign? Maybe I can do the bonk to rail. It, like like that, and then just set it up and just edit, do out. Because I don't throw down a 360 soul grind down this down rail, and so I didn't know what to do besides like what I wanted to do, and then I just made the thing I want to do somehow.
I mean, you say that, but there's plenty of footage of you online killing down rails. So don't act like you can't. You can easily skate them. You just don't
Yeah,
want to.
I just don't want to. Yeah. Also, it was fucking cold. It was like 6 degrees back then, and I had like and there was like a thorn bush next to it, so it's actually a really scary rail.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not my choice of rail to experiment on, and I feel like doing a bonk on a piece of plastic or a piece of metal or whatever that was to like basically flick up into the air is just adding jeopardy to it that I wouldn't introduce. I would just have skated it like a normal handrail.
Yeah, I was just like playing around with it actually, and then just felt like, oh, this is actually nice. It's kind of like I have the right flight to the rail. Just need to commit and just go on it. And I remember how a topsail works on a down rail, so
Fair
that
enough.
was yeah.
Are you happy with how it came out? Because like obviously it felt like you had enough time to do it, and there was a mixture of footage on there
Yeah,
because there was footage from when you were recently in California as well, like where you do the moonwalk in between the two ledges. That must have been on the Cali trip, yeah.
yeah, that was one because I always wanted like that was the one on the list, the moonwalk. And then shout out to my friend Jan from London though. Like, cause we've been chatting and he came up with like, dude, you need to do a moonwalk or something. Like, I don't know how it came up. I was like, oh man, I got you on a moonwalk somewhere. And then yeah, that was on the list forever. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy how it turned out. And I got to say when I got the sample first day I got the sample, I was really stressed out, and I was like thinking like, damn, I need to deliver like a bomb ass section now, and just like felt, I don't know, I need to do some hard shit, some crazy shit. I don't know. It just like put so much pressure on me. Then we started actually filming, and not much did happen. And then I that was the first trip I went to Berlin. Just got like the Soyal around the corner, around the curve thing.
That was incredible, by the way. Like the amount of control on that to then come off and fakey roll down that little skinny ledge was, yeah, that was wild.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a little fight to get there because we went there and it
Oh,
started raining
I can
so
imagine
crazy.
that ledge was
I
not
was
that ledge was not short.
No, it was not short. It was. I mean, the getting the whole thing wasn't that crazy because I had like I love doing Soyal, so that was like I got that kind of. But then going back into that thing, that was like a struggle. And then, like I said, it started like the weather was insane. It was sunny and beautiful. Then it started pouring rain and thunderstorm. So we were sitting in the car like this, and it stopped. And then we went back, and then it started raining again. And then it was like, oh, just fuck that. We go there next day, and then we went there next day again. So, but yeah, I was really stressed in the beginning, and then went to Barcelona, filmed with Tony, and I got actually a bunch of leftovers, probably like 10, at least 10 I can think of now leftovers, because I was just like, yeah, like overthinking in the beginning. And then towards the end, I just realized, hey, also talking with Danny, I told Danny and Alex, I think, hey, like, I'm nervous, blah, blah, and I feel pressure. And then Danny actually said the same. He's like, oh yeah, I was feeling pressure too, but hey, just do you. And then that's what was everyone was saying, just do you. And I was like, at some point I was like, yeah, you're all right. I'm just gonna do what I like. So I just used the clips I really like, and I had like a fun time doing them.
So I would imagine it is a natural fear for anyone that's got their first pro skate coming out, being like,
Like,
people are expecting a promo to come with this, and if I don't release a good promo, you're going to get the backlash and people saying, "Oh, he doesn't deserve the skate," yada yada yada, and
yeah, yeah,
that is a lot of pressure.
it is. But as soon as I realized I just should do what I they when Alex said, just do you, and it's fucking Alex Brosco, like he knows good skating, and when he tells me what to do and just being me, I was like, okay, I'm just listening, just gonna enjoy me doing what I like. And then looking back to it now, there's literally no clip I don't have. Let me think. Not that I'm lying, but I think there's no clip. I think there's no clip I had no fun with and not a good time. There's definitely leftover clips I didn't have a good time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I kind of feel like everyone was in on this, and that the years been leading up to this, because the Tate guys released a T-shirt with just your eyes on it, and then there was the FTS collaboration with Dead Wheels. So I feel like everyone was in on like you must have communicated to these people that you were getting a pro skate, because there's no way
Actually, not.
There's no way Adam Johnson didn't know you were getting a pro skate.
Oh, he did definitely. But to talk about the Dead Wheel, it was like even way back, and that was with Alex Roscoe and Kyle Sola.
Right.
And we were talking about, oh yeah, we at some point we should do an FTS wheel. And then the plan came pretty much same time as the idea of the pro skate. So that was also like, oof, okay, we're gonna do both things.
That's what I mean. It's been a big year for you. Like
yeah.
face
like, oh,
face
okay.
on a T-shirt, your crew's getting not one but two different sets of wheels, and then you're getting a skate with your name on it. That's a wild year.
Yeah, that was a wild year. But then my eyes on the T-shirt was actually a joke, because there's this this child photo of me, and I just looked like a devil, and Tony thought it's funny just using the devil eyes. So we just were joking about, or he was joking about it. So that's why. And obviously, like, me and Tony are like really close friends, and he does his Tate stuff, and we do STS here, and we're just like, oh, let's do something. Let's see. That actually, the Tate FDS was nothing big. It's just like us being like us and label it different. But then the Death Wheel thing, it got real while I was already filming for this promo. And then I was talking to Marius and I was like, hey, I think we should start working on this Dead thing now. You know,
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, because the promo for the Dead Wheel thing just seemed like you guys just went out and went, right, we're just going to smash this out in like a weekend or a week or whatever. It didn't look as if you guys put pressure on yourselves at all for it.
Yeah, we had a huge plan. We had actually we wanted to do a subplay edit with it again, but then yeah, since pandemic, the subways are like not the place to go, and you have to wear a mask, and we're probably getting huge trouble. So that was like, okay, we can't do that. And then we thought about, should we do a night edit? But then it's like, Marius hates skating at night. And then we were just like, what should we do? And we were like going back and forth, what should we do? And then Kyle was like, hey, we got these amazing skate parks, why you just don't do like a fun skate park thing? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's the vibe. Like, I can see like all the guys having mad fun. And I know Dominic and Sandro, like, how weird they can get at skate parks sometimes. And yeah, we did this, and it was great. It was a great time.
Cool. I'm guessing when you say Marius doesn't like to skate at night, that means he doesn't like the light being shone in his face.
No, he just hates skating in the dark.
All right.
He never explained it why, but he doesn't. It's just like, I can see shit, blah blah. He just doesn't like it. Okay. I used to love it, and I don't like it any much either nowadays.
That's fair enough. I knew something was up when it got towards like the midway point in the year, and you'd hardly brought out any footage, and Marius had hardly brought out any footage, and then the Brain Dead thing came out, and Marius only had like 2 or 3 clips. I was like, they're saving stuff, like they're hoarding footage for something, and I just assumed that you guys were working on, I don't know, a massive project or whatever, like a full length video or a longer video or whatever. But now that the 2 skates are essentially being announced, and Marius is going to be in shops next week, I'm like, this all makes sense. I get it now. Like, yeah,
it was hard holding this all on the radar, and then because it's, especially when it's such a long time from let's say May, or when I had actually the skate in my hand, till now, and like going to sessions, not bringing the skate, and like that kind of stuff. That was actually hard to manage. Also, it was hard to film in general, because my friend Dominic, I film usually with. He just got a baby in April, so he was kind of out. And then traveling to Spain during pandemic was kind of hard too. And then Myers is not around all the time. And the actual plan when I first heard I getting a pro skate was going to see Mike Torres in New York for a couple of weeks. And I was still hoping I can travel to the States last year. Oh no, last summer, sorry, and film with him. And we were like still last minute talking like, hey, maybe they open up soon. I can come over and we can do this. But didn't work out. So the plan B was like, just stay here in Europe and figure it out.
Okay, Mike has literally had the worst luck in the past 2 years then, because you're the third pro skate he's told me about that he was meant to film the promo for. I didn't even know about yours. He's told me about two other ones that he was like lined up to do, and then because he couldn't travel, he couldn't film them.
Yeah.
That's wow. Yeah. Okay. Plus, I imagine it must have sucked for you as well, because surely that meant you couldn't go to like. I imagine if travel restrictions weren't in place, you'd have been able to go to like the Boshy Pop Skate Off and appear in them journal, but obviously that couldn't happen.
All that stuff, yeah. And yeah, I already took the time off. I already had, I think I had 5 weeks off work, and was ready to buy the ticket and to go to New York, but yeah, it didn't work, unfortunately. But Mike promised me we're gonna work on a project in the future. So
right. There you go. Definitely. Something to look forward to. Yeah. Are you still working at the same place when I interviewed you the last time? I'm sure you told me you were working at like some kind of studio or something. Is that right?
No. It's a pharmaceutical factory, and they have like different. It's huge, and they do. For example, we do COVID tests.
Right.
But I'm in a print media production area.
That's what I was thinking of. Right.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do shift supervisor. That's why.
Right. You must have been like, when was our last interview? Was like 8 years ago?
Oh, that was, yeah. I'm working there since, I don't know, 13 years now.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's amazing. You can like, the benefits are really good though. That's why I can take so much time off.
Well, now you're going to be rich with them skates, so you'd have to worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, true.
Did them like pay the writers' salaries, or is it just royalties that the guys get?
It's just royalties from what I know. I think I'm not, well, that's just me guessing. I don't know what's happening with the other guys. I think.
Oh yeah, like I'm not asking you to speak on anyone. I just mean for like you personally.
Yeah. No, I don't get I just get the royalties, and when there is a project for like the Brain Dead video, we got money from that. Since plating works again, or like since plating sells, like we get every now and then like a little bit. Yeah, and it's pretty cool though. Like I cannot complain at all. And if there's some,
well, obviously, like it sounds good, and it sounds like you're being flown loads of places as well to do the project, so that's great. But yeah, if you're saying you're getting incentives for getting footage for videos as well,
exactly,
then, yeah, it's better than nothing, definitely.
Yeah.
This totally just jumped into my head because obviously we were talking about Robbie earlier. Robbie's not on them anymore. He's been skating rollerblade for like over a year now. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Robbie. I don't know if I should go into like the whole details. I don't actually know everything. I just know that the communications between John and Robbie wasn't that good anymore. And seeing it, well, fast forward, seeing it now, Robbie being his own brand, kind of. And I think Robbie is in a great spot for himself. Yeah, I don't exactly know what there's like his side and this side and all this. It's just like they just didn't work well together anymore. They're friends still, or again, they're like they hang out. It's just like the video work and stuff like that. It's just like there was some misunderstanding, I guess, and some communication problems and opinions. So yeah, and then Robbie pretty much left.
All right. Yeah, that's what I was surprised, because it felt like he wasn't only skating for them, he was making content as well. Like he made the initial promo, the Sean Darce promo,
Yeah.
the Alex and Marius, and then he just kind of seemed to disappear. And I was like, that's
No,
weird.
they worked pretty close together. And of course, when you work close together with someone, there are arguments and stuff. So they had their arguments, and it didn't work out anymore at some point. And yeah, I think I I love Robbie. He's like one of my favorite persons. But I think I don't want to step on his toes saying this, but I feel like he's doing that might be one of the best things that happened to him for him and his skating and skate career and his career as a model in general, being his own brand, kind of being free to do whatever you want. And it also, like, I could see that it did hurt him to not, because we are like all his friends and we do projects, and not being involved, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robbie is still family, and to every one of us.
That is what I was going to ask, because it did feel like you guys were like quite close friends. But do you guys like
still,
when you were in California, did you guys spend any time together now that he's not
yes, of course,
part of them?
yes,
Or
yeah, of course, yeah. Like, he was one of the first guys I hit up. Unfortunately, he had to work a lot, but he showed up a couple of times. He hooked us up with his camera too. My camera got broken in LA. The zoom got broken. He hooked us up with his camera till I got mine fixed. So he's definitely family,
that's
regardless
cool.
what plastic is on his feet.
It's cool. There's no weirdness. Yeah, because that does kind of suck when you see people leave teams and then, you know, they obviously become separated from people that they were close to on those teams because they're no longer part of that group anymore, or that unit or whatever. So that's pretty cool. So obviously the skates came out, the promos came out. Marius must be dropping a promo any day now, or at some point in the near future. That you're not going to confirm. That's fine. I don't expect you to like blow your boy up. I'm assuming there's a promo coming for his skate relatively soon, considering the skate's going to be in shops in Europe like next week.
Well, he's working on it. Let's say it like this.
Okay, say no more.
Also, I need to, like, that's fair enough. He got his sample really late, like literally like 5 weeks ago, maybe.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, that's not long at all. But it's a black skate though, so it's a black skate with a different colored cuff. So as long as he's got his jeans down, you could kind of get away.
Yeah,
you could get away with
even
footage.
though I also said that nowadays you don't need to have looking at it now, you don't really need to have the skate. It's like kind of like a tradition rollerblading had in all the time. But I wouldn't mind seeing Marius clips in whatever color skates right now.
I mean, if some of them are bangers, it doesn't matter whether it's the pro skate or not. Like, you can mix it in with pro skate footage.
Exactly, yeah. But he's definitely working on something, and I know he wants to put something out when he's happy with it. And Marius is really picky. He grows up now. I'm super proud, and yeah, I know if he's done with his thing, and when it's done, it's gonna be a crazy banger.
Right.
That's for sure. Yeah.
I do feel like, yeah, you guys definitely seem to have been like kindred spirits that have found each other, because even though like your style of skating is not the same as each other, like you're both got very different views, but it feels like you complement each other, and it feels like you both kind of, just like have this kind of perfectionist eye where you're like, this is it. I want it to look exactly how I want it to look, like in my head, even if it's not, even if your visions are slightly different.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they are different, but yeah, we started at like a kind of like a same point. Or like when I met him, he was like, we always were still like in the same direction, or he leaned more towards me. But then as soon as that was like when he was 15.
I was about to say, because
21.
I'm sure I remember Marius telling me that you were the one that got him hooked up with Valo. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking, and I was pretty stoked on him, and I was like, hey, just come. He asked me like, hey, can I come over and stay with you. I was like, oh yeah, definitely come over and hang out and we skate. And then during that time, John was around. He was like with his wife's family in the South Germany. So we visited them and skated a little bit. And I was like, look at him,
Yeah.
John, literally at the
I brought
skate
this.
park.
I brought this guy.
And
He's pretty
yeah,
good.
and
Just
John was like,
pay
oh, he's
attention.
so sick. Yeah, and John was like, damn, he's so sick. And yeah, I wanted that really bad. I felt like that. Yeah, everything happened natural, and I'm really thankful for Mario. So
Plus, you need to be friends with Marius now, because now you and Mark Moreno can't be friends anymore because you're on competing brands, and it's now you guys now have to hate each other. That's the rules. So and you can never work together again. So now that there's a war.
no, there's actually it's funny because Mark filmed the clip from my section. He filmed the elevator like thing, the zero spin.
Yeah.
He did the long angle, and it was cool. But that day, me and Mark sat down and talked a little bit about this, and I told him word to word. I was like, "Hey, man, no matter what we're doing now in our future, we're gonna still be the homies. And we're gonna help each other out. If Mark needs some help with filming, and when I'm out there, I'm definitely filming. There was for me. I don't care what plastic you have on your feet. It depends on the friendship. And me and Mark, we know each other for so long, and I really don't care. I wish him the best, and with the brands they're doing. And it's great to see Mark that motivated though.
It is, because it felt like he kind of stepped. Well, he was obviously still skating, but it felt like he kind of just stepped back from a little bit.
Yeah, he was.
And just kind of, especially after everything with SSM, he was still making content, but it just felt like he wasn't as present. And now it feels like, because he can put his art direction on it and make the kind of videos he wants to make, it feels like he's getting a second chance, which he vastly deserves. I mean,
definitely he got skates from John. I know.
Oh no,
I know that.
I know he was getting hooked up by them and stuff, but it just it never felt like he was properly on, because he wasn't going on on team trips and stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing. The team is huge, and I mean, I'm not saying huge. It's actually perfect, to be honest. Like, so all the guys, there's like some sort of like it's really special when we all together. Like I never thought this. Well, I couldn't never imagine like this works so well. Like the group vibe, the team vibe with them skates. But I think there's not space for anyone though. Even if probably John would love to hook up even more people, but it wouldn't be. It would look odd at some point,
Oh, I mean, he's already got quite a large extended family, and I know of quite a few people who he's just giving skates to that aren't even acknowledged as being on them. I think most people just think they buy the skates, but John's sending them, a pair of each release that comes out. Yeah. So, I'm well aware that he's got quite a broad net with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's great for Mark and those guys to have like how can I call it, a home and something to put their energy in.
Definitely. Plus, if rollerblading is, growing again, which it appears to be, and hopefully that's going to be sustainable, then there should be enough space for, a decent amount of boot brands out there, especially ones that have a strong vision and, good marketing and have interesting ideas. Like, because there's established brands out there that aren't really doing much of anything and are just kind of
exactly. And I really appreciate that they having this. They're like still a smaller team, but they're having like such a crew vibe, and I really appreciate that too. Like, thank you for doing this. It's like, of course, like if you look at it from like the outside, it's like competition and whatever.
I was only joking.
I know. But there are definitely people who are not joking. They're like, oh, this is some competition now. They must hate each other. Yeah, they're like definitely people there who think like, no, everything is weird, but it's not. Like I can easily talk to like for everyone on the Dem team that nobody is on like some competition mode. Everyone's like, yeah, they're doing their thing. It's gonna be sick. It's better than what most brands do. And good luck. And we're gonna be homies regardless. And like I said, with me and Mark, if he ever needs help, I'm definitely here for him. He helped me too.
Yeah, like, oh no, I didn't think anything would change. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Plus it moves on nicely to what I was going to ask you. You know, obviously you're, you know, there's no doubt that you're also a massive blade geek and someone that pays attention to everything that's going on in the sport. Like, what projects have you been excited by this year? What have you watched that you're like, whoa, that's really motivating. Like that makes me want to get out and make stuff.
I like the Mesmer video. That was one. Um, Also, because I was not even connected with it, was like the New York thing towards it with the guys. Like that was just like I saw it first time. I was like, wow, blown away. That was amazing. Everything Torres touched. Um, then the the mushroom blading video was like outstanding.
MB8 was very
Out
good. Yeah.
amazing. Not I knew it's not going to disappoint. Funny though, because like I could see myself like maybe in 2013, 14, maybe I don't know, saying like, who are these guys? What are they doing? And now I'm a huge fan though. It's funny.
I think that
And
just shows growing up though. Like there's loads of things that you'd make fun of when you're younger, but as you get older and you
yeah,
mature and you're like there's like music or like food or like there's stuff that you go, oh, that's disgusting, and then you eat it later and you're like, God, this is great. Why didn't I like this when I was a kid? Or
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Also, I feel like they were just ahead of their time, and they can be lucky that they had each other being with the same mindset. But yeah, besides that, what else did I like? Fifth Floor was amazing. That was really great. Good rewatch. Fifth Floor
did
from
that come
David.
out? Yeah, I'm trying. Did that come out this year? Man, I've got no
Oh yeah,
concept of time now. That
that
came out this
that
year.
must. I'm pretty sure that was this year.
Must have been near the
No,
start of the year. Okay, I don't know.
almost. Think so loud. Yeah, I think it was. Must have been.
Hmm.
Oh, no, you. Yeah, we need to look it up. Maybe.
Don't worry, I'm on this. When did Fifth Floor come out?
I would say April. No,
Oh, you're
maybe
right. It came out
April.
9 months ago. It came out at the very start of the year.
Oh no,
So,
yeah,
okay, it came out like February. All right. Wow. Yeah. COVID has completely messed up my concept of time. So that, right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely a contender. Not for, I mean, Dominic Bruce. Surprisingly, like David actually didn't have that much footage in it. He only had like maybe 10, 15 clips, but the clips he had were
yeah,
incredible. But
yeah.
Dominic Bruce was just,
Oh,
yeah,
that was
incredible. So,
another level. Yeah, Dominic just unlocked himself. He just like opened his third eye. It's amazing to see.
plus it's also interesting when you see like the kind of influence that obviously the kind of skating that Dominic Bruce does is now had an influence on John Bellino's skating, where John's been able to incorporate elements not of new skating, but just like not the type of skating he would
Everything.
normally do, and yet he
Yeah,
does it just as
everything.
well as anything else in his repertoire. He can just he kind of reminds me of like Alex Brosco in that sense that he can just absorb things and make them his own.
Yeah,
And when he does
exactly.
it, it just you're like, oh, that I can't imagine you not doing that now because you just make it look so normal.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, he was.
um,
Yeah, that's one of the. Well, also, Colin Castle.
yeah,
He's like that too. He just can try everything he wants now, and it works. It's another one. Also got really excited to see all the basement content this year. There's so much, but I don't know. I cannot name that everything though. I mean that's pretty much it. I'm pretty. I watch a lot, but it's not me hating though. I'm just not stoked on everything. There's like great stuff. Oh, the Bodega video was also incredible. Um, yeah, there's there's definitely there's good stuff and there's stuff I really like. but there's more good stuff than stuff I really like. Not being an asshole, just being honest.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I always find it really like weird when people get defensive about stuff like that and say,
Oh
"Oh, why
yeah, I
didn't you
don't
like that?" or whatever. Not liking something doesn't mean you hate it or doesn't mean you don't like the
exactly.
people who make it. It's not personal. It's just if you've been skating as long as you have, you become more selective about what you watch and what you enjoy because
Yeah,
you know
and
I
especially what
don't.
inspires. So
Yeah,
like
like
inspiration is like another thing. It's like also I have to say I like in my city there are not really a lot of rollerbladers. I skate a lot. Like there are some crews, but they're like a little bit far out and stuff. And during the week when I go skate with my skateboard friends. So like I'm really not involved or like deep into skateboarding. And so I watch a lot of skateboarding too, and I definitely get inspiration from skateboarding as well, and get impressed. Maybe because the scene is also so big and there's so much good stuff happening. I don't know. That's something. And yeah, there's of course, like you said, I don't have to like anything. Not if I don't like something or click the like button, doesn't mean I don't like it. You know. And yeah, people definitely. I had like I don't know if I should bring it. Yeah, I had like a conversation one long time ago. Some some well-known skaters asked me why I don't like and share their stuff. I was like, why do I have to?
yeah, you're not under an obligation to. Yeah.
Yeah, why do I have to? And that made it even more weird, you know. So I definitely watch a lot and respect a lot and appreciate that people do their direction. But then maybe that also translates to my skating. I do I do me. I just focus on the things that might come outside of skating or from the past or from other sports. Sometimes it's just some weird shit that happens in my brain, you know. But yeah, and also mostly a lot of inspiration and a lot of like tricks that happen because of my friends and how we my friend Sandro, like sometimes I call him the coach because he has some like amazing ideas. Just saying like, hey, you probably can do this and that on this thing. I was like, wow, thank you. Well, let's try. You know, like tricks like that they develop, like the wall set slide I do in my part. I was actually trying something totally different, a wall rail like next to it. It didn't work out, and I was like, I wanted to do a wall set slide, and I tried some wall set slides on this thing before, and then Sandra was like, nah, you need to like throw your feet like this way and more up, and just like ride the wall. And I was like, all right, you know, like stuff like that happens. So that's my inspiration. But yeah, unfortunately, there's not. I cannot say everything in blading makes me stoked.
Yeah, I don't expect you to, but it is interesting what you say about the whole coach thing with your friend because I feel like every group has got that where
Yeah, yeah,
you can see a trick for your friend that they can't see for themselves because, like, for example, I can't toe roll. I wish I could. I would love to. If I could, I probably would incorporate it into pretty much every ledge trick. But I can't.
yeah,
But one of my friends can. So whenever I find a spot that screams out for like a grind to a toe roll or a toe roll to a
yeah.
set slide, and just send them the photo, and I'm like, "We're going there, and you're doing
That's
this
cool.
trick on it."
Yeah,
And then they're like, and they're like, "I didn't even think of that when you sent me that photo, but now that you've showed
yeah.
me,
It's
like,
so
I
good.
could totally do that." And I'm like, "Let's go." And it's like you see things that you just want to see done, even if it's not by you. You want to see it done by the
Exactly.
people that can do it the
And
best
also by your
way.
yeah, and some you know best what works best for your friends.
Yeah.
That's also something super important. I love going skating with them because we're so close. Like we meet outside of skating and stuff, and like it's incredible. And they know everything about me and how good I am at this and how bad I am at that. and then the opposite as well. And then of course we just help each other and direct each other sometimes, which is incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what it's all like. Collaboration. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I've got one more question for you, and then I'll let you go because you've obviously not going to tell me anything about Marius's section, which I'm bitterly disappointed about. What does the
Well,
future hold for Pat? What have you got? Like, have you got anything like in the works or lined up that you can tell us about? Or, I mean, I can't imagine there's going to be much traveling going on now that everywhere seems to be going back into restrictions and lockdowns and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah. Well, now it's winter, so we're gonna chill. What we're gonna do is we have this little indoor park thing my friend Dominic runs, and this project just kind of started and it's getting serious, and we got an offer for a new ramp, so we do like a little clip for a fundraiser thing. That's pretty much it, and then I will help Marius filming for his thing more, and after the winter, there's definitely a lot of talks and a lot of things lined up for next year with them skates. We'll see how many of these things I can join, and it's all still up in the air because of this pandemic. But yeah, after this last part now, I said like, yeah, I'm gonna chill at least for the winter now and just enjoy myself in the skate park. Maybe do some phone clips, something.
just do some more
for next year.
Do some more tippy tappy stuff on Instagram that people can hate on. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Tippy tappy for Instagram on small stuff for all you guys to hate on, and then at the end of the day, someone will probably copy it and do it.
That's when you know. That's when you know that it's like people can talk shit on it all they like, but see if you've seen something that you've done that you've never seen anyone do before, and then a few months later you start seeing other skaters do it, and you're like, you can make fun of how I skate all you like, but people are copying it. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, that, and then there's people like I said, Alex Brosco, Danny Beer, and Sean Kelso, and they giving me props. So I'm like, okay, well, these guys are liking what they see, so why should I care what you say?
exactly,
You know,
you
Alex
respect the opinion of your friends more than complete strangers from the other side of the world that you're never going to meet.
Exactly. So this is whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy myself a little bit more and take it easy till the winter disappears, and then let's see what happens. I'm not getting any younger, but still want to get something.
I don't know, Pat. You still look pretty. How old are you now?
What do you guess?
Mid-30s?
Yeah, 37.
Oh, I'm only a year older than you, and you're looking a lot younger than I am. So you're
Well,
doing all right.
Thank you. Thanks to my child Marius, who keeps me young. It definitely helps skating with him though, and yeah, taking care of your body.
Taking care of your body, yeah. Smoking all those cigarettes, yeah. Taking care of your body.
I actually don't smoke. I stopped smoking cigarettes for 2 years. Now I smoke every now and then.
All right, okay. So you've chilled out on that. That's okay then. All right.
Yeah, definitely eating like way more healthy. I'm doing like stretching and yoga kind of shit every day, so that's kind of necessary to stay still involved.
I'm sure, like back when we last spoke, you had a bit of an obsession with Frankfurt kebabs or something. It was something like that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, kebabs. So like I love it, but yeah, but yeah, during the week I cook a lot, and like I'm not like strict like, oh, I like Danny, for example. It's really interesting to see Danny's eating plans and all this, but I'm not that strict.
He's a machine. No one's like that.
He's a machine. It's so impressive. Like I love watching it. I love taking inspiration from that. But yeah, I'm not that strict. I should be more strict though. But yeah, I take a lot of care of myself now because sometimes you feel it. You eat like 3 pizzas. Like Marius was here last winter and we ate pizza like 3 times in a row. I felt crazy afterwards.
You're like, my body can't take this anymore.
I was like, nah, Marius, I'm not skating today. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
That's fair though.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, definitely. Sometimes feeling it. Most times not. I'm really fighting against it. But I will say this before we end this: I'm definitely, because there's a lot of talk about making space for the younger generation and like, you know, the old guys and blah blah. I see myself still not like an old guy, even if I am, especially being that close with Marius. I realized if I wouldn't be there, it would be different for Marius too.
Yeah, definitely.
So all the old guys should make space for the young guys, but we also the guys who are important for the young guys should stay around till they feel like now it's time to step back. And we all like Billy said, like if the young guys some hope, and or Joey said that also on his podcast. And I think every pro will happily make space if there would be another Mario coming around the corner.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have many yet.
And I don't think it's about older guys making way for younger guys. I think the problem, and what a lot of them were referring to, was pros that were no longer really contributing anything or didn't have anything to offer in all their sections, were just kind of regurgitations of the last section. And it's like, we're still giving these guys skates, really?
Of course. That's total bullshit, of course. But there's also the Joey brought it up, saying like that young kids not even trying.
Yeah.
I mean, there are young kids trying, and they definitely get seen. Matt Race from Milan.
That's what I mean. I would, like, you're saying there's not many Mariuses out there. I'd say there's quite a few exciting younger guys out there, like Ren Fujiwara.
More exactly, more
like
than
Park,
ever.
God, I can't remember his second name. Park from South Korea, and then like you said, Matt Rez from Italy. There's guys in the UK.
There's
coming
Louis
up
on Mesmer, he's
so,
pretty sick. There are a lot of kids actually, or young guys. But yeah, they're coming up, and we are here to like help them, get them in. I don't know. Definitely, I guess because Joey was saying they don't even try to get like on a level. But yeah, if there is someone he tries, he will get seen, definitely. And I think there's enough spots now for these younger generations, and enough old heads who know how important that is to get them as soon as we see them.
I'd definitely say there was more opportunities for young, up-and-coming, talented skaters now than there has been in the last 10 years. Easily. So it's definitely going in the right direction. I've taken up 2 hours of your Friday night, which is more than enough. But just what I ended by saying, congratulations on the skate. Can't wait to pick up a pair. They look incredible. Love the promo. And it is thoroughly deserved. And thanks so much. Random people on the internet saying things that don't have relevance. It shouldn't be something that you actually think about. So
never. But yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was great. It was actually, I'm sorry for the technical issues.
I'm just gonna blame it on your funny I'm not gonna take it out on you personally. We'll blame your internet connection.
Blame it on the internet connection. But yeah, that was great.
Awesome, man. Well, have a good weekend, and
you too.
Yeah, hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, hopefully see you soon in person. Maybe at some Winter Clash.
Probably Winter Clash, not next year, but probably Winter Clash.
At some point.
See you soon. Bye.
Have a good one. Bye.